Hi everybody, welcome to this video on the chapter of magnetism and matter. The first question of the chapter is, a small bar magnet placed with its axis at 30 degrees with an external field of 0.06 Tesla experiences a torque of 0.018 Newton meters. The minimum work required to rotate it from its stable to unstable equilibrium position is. कैस इस क्वेश्चन में हमें टॉर्क का फॉर्मूला यूज करना है. टॉर्क इज इक्वल टू एम बी साइन थीटा. कैस बाय यूजिंग दिस फॉर्मूला विल फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट एम, and after this we'll use the formula of work done in rotating a magnet in magnetic field. Guys, this formula is given by work done is equal to mb into inside the bracket cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Guys, इस केस में स्टेबल इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन में थीटा 1 विल बी 0 डिग्रीज एंड अनस्टेबल इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन में थीटा 2 विल बी 180 डिग्रीज. So this is the main concept of this question. Let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that torque on a bar magnet is given by the formula mb sin theta, and by using this formula we'll find the value of magnetic moment m. Guys, this value comes out as 0.6 ampere meter square. Once we obtain the value of m, we will use the formula of work done to rotate a bar magnet. Guys, work done is equal to minus of change in potential energy, and guys, potential energy of bar magnet is equal to minus mb cos theta. So by using this concept, we'll obtain the formula of work done as equal to mb into inside the bracket cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. Now guys, in this case, when we have stable equilibrium, the angle between magnetic moment m and magnetic field b will be 0 degrees. And guys, in the case of unstable equilibrium, this angle will be 180 degrees. So substituting these values, we'll obtain the value of work done as 7.2 into 10 raised to minus 2 joules, which is our final answer. So guys, with this, we have completed this first question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the second question of this chapter is, a small circular loop of conducting wire has radius a and carries current I. It is placed in a uniform magnetic field B perpendicular to its plane such that when rotated slightly about its diameter and released, it starts performing simple harmonic motion of time period t. If mass of the loop is m, then time period t is equal to. Guys, in this question, we'll have to use the formula of time period of magnetic dipole placed in a magnetic field. This formula is time period is equal to 2 pi under root of I upon mb. Guys, in this formula, I is moment of inertia and m is magnetic dipole moment. Guys, magnetic dipole moment for a circular loop is given by the formula NIA, where n is number of turns, I is current, and A is area of loop. So guys, in summary, we have to use two formulas. Time period is equal to 2 pi under root of I upon mb, and guys, magnetic moment m is equal to NIA. So let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that time period of oscillation of magnetic dipole in a uniform magnetic field B is given by 2 pi under root of I upon mb, where I is moment of inertia and m is magnetic dipole moment. Guys, in this case, the circular loop is performing simple harmonic motion by rotating about its diameter, and therefore moment of inertia I will become equal to m r square by 2. Also guys, magnetic dipole moment m for a circular loop carrying current I is given by the formula NIA, where n is number of turns, I is current, and A is area of loop. Guys, in this case, we'll take number of turns as equal to 1 and area of loop will become equal to pi r square. So guys, आप यहाँ नीचे ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो that in place of moment of inertia I, we have substituted m a square by 2 because radius is equal to small a. And guys, in place of magnetic moment m, we have substituted I into pi a square because area is pi a square. Guys, cancelling a square in the numerator and denominator, we'll obtain the final answer as under root of 2 pi m divided by IB. So guys, with this we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the third question of this chapter is, at an angle of 30 degrees to the magnetic meridian, the apparent dip is 45 degrees. find the true dip. Guys, in this question, we'll first use the formula of apparent dip. This formula is given by tan delta dash is equal to BV divided by BH cos theta. Guys, in this formula, delta dash is the angle of apparent dip, BV is the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, BH is the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and theta is the angle made by plane to the magnetic meridian. Guys, by using this formula, we'll obtain the relation between BV and BH, and after this, we'll use the formula of true dip. This formula is given by tan delta is equal to BV upon BH. Guys, in this formula, delta is the angle of true dip. So this is the main concept of this question. Let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that the formula for angle of apparent dip is given by tan delta dash is equal to BV divided by BH cos theta. Guys, in this formula, delta dash is the angle of apparent dip which has been given as 45 degrees and theta is the angle made by the plane to the magnetic meridian which has been given as 30 degrees. So by substituting these two values, we'll obtain the relation as BV is equal to root 3 by 2 times BH. Guys, once we obtain this relation, we'll use the formula of angle of true dip. This formula is tan delta is equal to BV divided by BH. Guys, substituting BV as root 3 by 2 times BH, we'll obtain the value of angle of true dip delta as equal to tan inverse of root 3 by 2. So guys, this is our final answer, and with this we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the fourth question of this chapter is, a long solenoid with 1000 turns per meter has a core material with relative permeability 500 and volume 10 raised to 3 centimeter cube. If the core material is replaced by another material having relative permeability of 750 with same volume maintaining same current of 0.75 amperes in the solenoid, the fractional change in the magnetic moment of the core would be approximately x divided by 499. Find the value of x. Guys, in this question, we will use the concept relative permeability mu r is equal to 1 plus chi, where chi is known as magnetic susceptibility of the core material. Guys, by using this formula, we will obtain the value of magnetic susceptibility for the two core material. And once we find this value, we will use the concept magnetization is directly proportional to magnetic susceptibility. इसका मतलब guys, जो magnetic dipole moment होगा in the two core material, it will be directly proportional to the respective magnetic susceptibility. So the equation will be m1 upon m2 is equal to chi1 upon chi2. So this is the main concept of this question. Let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that magnetization is directly proportional to magnetic susceptibility. इसका मतलब students, जो magnetic dipole moment develop होगा in the core material, it will be directly proportional to the respective magnetic susceptibility. Therefore guys, the equation will be m1 upon m2 is equal to chi1 upon chi2. Guys, to find the value of chi, we will use the formula mu r is equal to 1 plus chi, and therefore chi will be equal to mu r minus 1. So guys, for the first core material, chi will become equal to 500 minus 1, which is equal to 499. And for the second material, chi will become equal to 750 minus 1, which is equal to 749. So by substituting the values of chi1 and chi2, we will obtain the equation as m1 upon m2 is equal to 499 divided by 749. Now guys, in this question, we need to find fractional change in magnetic moment. This fractional change will be equal to change in magnetic moment divided by original magnetic moment. So the equation becomes m2 minus m1 divided by m1. On separating the denominator, we will obtain m2 upon m1 minus 1, and by substituting the value of m2 upon m1 as 749 upon 499, we'll obtain the final answer as 250 divided by 499. So guys, the value of unknown x will be equal to 250, which is our final answer. So with this, we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the fifth question of this chapter is an assertion reason type question. The first statement is the ferromagnetic property depends on temperature. At high temperature, ferromagnet becomes a paramagnet. Guys, in this case, the first statement is actually correct. As we increase temperature, magnetic property of the material decreases, or in other words, ferromagnetism will decrease on increasing temperature. Also guys, above Curie temperature, the domain structure of ferromagnet starts to break and therefore ferromagnet is converted into a paramagnet wherein the magnetic dipoles will align themselves individually. इसका मतलब गाइस, जब आप टेम्परेचर इंक्रीज करोगे तो फेरोमैग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी कम हो जाती है एंड गाइस व्हेन वी क्रॉस क्यूरी टेम्परेचर तो फेरोमैग्नेट का जो डोमेन स्ट्रक्चर है वो ब्रेक हो जाता है एंड देयरफॉर फेरोमैग्नेट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू अ पैरामैग्नेट. Now the second statement is at high temperature the domain wall area of ferromagnet substance increases. Guys, ये statement गलत है. Guys, on increasing temperature and going beyond Curie temperature, domain structure will actually start to break, or in other words, on increasing temperature, the domain wall area of ferromagnet will actually decrease. So guys, in summary, statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is wrong. आपको बस ये ध्यान में रखना है कि टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने से domain wall area of ferromagnetic material will decrease and therefore ferromagnetism will decrease on increasing temperature. So with this we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the sixth question of this chapter is the magnetic susceptibility of a material of a rod is 499, permeability in vacuum is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7, absolute permeability of the material of the rod is. Guys, in this question, we will use the formula mu is equal to mu r into mu naught, where mu r is relative permeability and mu naught is permeability in vacuum. Guys, to find the value of relative permeability mu r, we will use the formula mu r is equal to 1 plus chi, where chi is magnetic susceptibility, which has been given as 499. So in summary, हमें दो formulas use करने हैं. Permeability mu is equal to mu r into mu naught and guys mu r is equal to 1 plus chi. So let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that permeability of any medium or material is given by the formula mu is equal to mu r into mu naught. Guys, mu r is relative permeability which is given by the formula 1 plus chi. Therefore guys, the overall formula for permeability of medium will be mu is equal to mu naught into inside the bracket 1 plus chi. Guys, the value of magnetic susceptibility chi has been given as 499 and the value of mu naught, which is permeability of vacuum, is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. So on substituting these values, we'll obtain the final answer for permeability of the material as equal to 2 pi into 10 raised to minus 4. So with this, we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the seventh question of this chapter is a solenoid of 1000 turns per meter has a core with relative permeability 500. Insulated windings of the solenoid carry an electric current of 5 amperes. The magnetic flux density produced by the solenoid is. Guys, magnetic flux density is nothing but magnetic field, and magnetic field inside the solenoid is given by the formula mu Ni. Guys, mu is the permeability of the medium which is inside the solenoid, and to find this we will use the equation mu is equal to mu naught into mu r. Guys, mu naught is permeability of vacuum which is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 and mu r has been given as 500. So in summary, we have to use two formulas. Magnetic field inside the solenoid is equal to mu Ni, and guys, the value of mu is equal to mu naught into mu r. So let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that magnetic field inside the solenoid is given by the formula B is equal to mu Ni, where N is number of turns per unit length, I is current in solenoid, and mu is permeability of medium inside the solenoid. Guys, to find the value of mu, we will use the concept mu is equal to mu r into mu naught, where mu r is relative permeability and mu naught is permeability of vacuum. So by using this equation mu is equal to mu r into mu naught, the formula for B will become equal to mu r into mu naught into n into I. Guys, mu r has been given as 500, mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7, number of turns per unit length have been given as 1000, and current I is 5 amperes. By substituting all of these values, we'll obtain the final answer as pi Tesla for magnetic field inside the solenoid. So with this, we have completed this question as well. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes, students, the 8th question of this chapter is, a paramagnetic sample shows a net magnetization of 6 ampere per meter when it is placed in an external magnetic field of 0.4 Tesla at a temperature of 4 Kelvin. When the sample is placed in an external magnetic field of 0.3 Tesla at a temperature of 24 Kelvin, then the magnetization will be. Guys, in this question, we will use the concept that magnetization of any material is proportional to B upon T, where B is external magnetic field and T is temperature in Kelvin. इसका मतलब स्टूडेंट्स, जितना एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की वैल्यू ज़्यादा होगी उतना ज़्यादा मैग्नेटाइजेशन होगा, एंड जितना टेम्परेचर ज़्यादा होगा उतना मैग्नेटाइजेशन कम हो जाएगा, बिकॉज इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट टू अलाइन मैग्नेटिक डायपोल्स एट हायर टेम्परेचर. सो इन समरी हमें बस ये कंसेप्ट यूज करना है दैट मैग्नेटाइजेशन इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू B अपॉन T. सो लेट्स ऑब्जर्व दिस इन द सॉल्यूशन इन द नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. ये स्टूडेंट्स, आप यहाँ ऑब्जर्व कर सकते हो दैट मैग्नेटाइजेशन इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू B अपॉन T. Here in the solution, magnetization is given by alphabet I. Therefore, guys, I1 upon I2 will become equal to B1 upon B2 into T2 upon T1. Guys, यहाँ पे मैग्नेटाइजेशन डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होता है, बिकॉज जितना ज़्यादा एक्सटर्नल मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होगा उतना मटेरियल ज़्यादा मैग्नेटाइज हो जाएगा. एंड गाइस, इट इज़ इन्वर्सली प्रोपोर्शनल टू टेम्परेचर, बिकॉज जितना ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर होगा it becomes more difficult to align the magnetic dipoles in the direction of magnetic field. Therefore, guys, magnetization I1 upon magnetization I2 will be equal to B1 upon B2, which is direct proportionality, into T2 upon T1, which is inverse proportionality. Now we'll substitute the values. The value of B1 has been given as 0.4 Tesla and temperature T1 is 4 Kelvin. Value of B2 is 0.3 Tesla and temperature T2 is 24 Kelvin. Also guys, value of magnetization I1 is given as 6. By substituting all of these values, we'll obtain the new value of magnetization I2 as equal to 3 by 4 ampere per meter. So guys, with this we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 9th question of this chapter is, magnetic materials used for making permanent magnets P and magnets in a transformer T have different properties. Of the following, which property best matches for the type of magnet required? Guys, in this question, we need to understand that for permanent magnets, we require a material which has large retentivity and large coercivity. Guys, इसका लॉजिक बहुत सिंपल है. For permanent magnets, we require a material which can hold magnetization even when external current is removed. इसका मतलब students, it should definitely have large retentivity. Also guys, for the logic of large coercivity, when a reverse current is applied, we don't want the magnetization in the material to become zero. Therefore guys, it should also have large coercivity. So guys, in summary, हमें बस ये ध्यान में रखना है that for permanent magnets, we need a material which has large retentivity and large coercivity. So the correct answer for this question is option B. Guys, with this we have completed this question. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 10th question of this chapter is, a perfectly diamagnetic sphere has a small spherical cavity at its center which is filled with a paramagnetic substance. The whole system is placed in a uniform magnetic field B. Then the field inside the paramagnetic substance is. Guys, in this question, we need to understand the behavior of diamagnetic substance in a magnetic field. Guys, in a diamagnetic substance, magnetic dipoles are aligned in the opposite direction, and therefore, a opposite magnetic field is created inside the diamagnetic material. Guys, because this is a case of perfectly diamagnetic, this opposite magnetic field will be exactly equal to the external magnetic field, and therefore, net magnetic field inside the diamagnetic material will become equal to 0. इसका मतलब स्टूडेंट्स देर विल बी नो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड लाइन्स विच विल एंटर द डायमैग्नेटिक मटेरियल and therefore there will be no magnetic field lines which will enter the spherical cavity filled with paramagnetic substance. So guys, the correct answer for this question will be option C. There will be zero magnetic field inside the spherical cavity which is filled with paramagnetic substance. So guys, in summary, diamagnetic substance will have opposite magnetic field and perfectly diamagnetic substance will have equal and opposite magnetic field, making the magnetic field inside the substance as equal to 0. So with this we have completed this question. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 11th question of this chapter is, the figure gives experimentally measured B versus H variation for a ferromagnetic material. The retentivity, coercivity and saturation respectively of the material are. Guys, आप यहाँ डायग्राम में देख सकते हो that we have a magnetic hysteresis loop and in this loop it is a graph of B versus H. Guys, retentivity is defined as magnetization that will remain when external magnetic field is equal to 0. In other words, retentivity is value of B when H is equal to 0. So guys, if you look at the graph, the value of B when H is equal to 0 is 1 Tesla and this is known as retentivity of the material. On the other hand, coercivity is defined as value of H when B is 0. इसका मतलब गाइस हमें कितना रिवर्स करंट या रिवर्स मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अप्लाई करना पड़ेगा टू मेक द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड 0 इज नोन एज कोर्सिविटी. सो गाइस, कोर्सिविटी विल बी वैल्यू ऑफ H when B is 0 and this is equal to 50 ampere per meter. उसके अलावा गाइस, saturation is the maximum value of magnetization that is present in the material. So if you look at the graph, this maximum value is 1.5 Tesla. So guys, the correct answer for this question will be option A. Retentivity is the value of B when H is 0. So this value is 1 Tesla. Coercivity is the value of H when B is 0. So this is 50 ampere per meter. And saturation is the maximum value of magnetic field B, which is 1.5 Tesla. So with this, we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 12th question of this chapter is, a bar magnet is demagnetized by inserting it inside a solenoid of length 0.2 meters, 100 tons and carrying a current of 5.2 amperes. The coercivity of the bar magnet is. Guys, in this question, we need to first understand the concept of coercivity. Guys, coercivity is the opposite magnetic field applied so that the magnetization of the material becomes equal to 0. In other words, it is the value of H so that B becomes equal to 0. Guys, यहाँ पे we are doing this with the help of a solenoid and inside a solenoid, magnetic field is given by mu naught Ni, where N is number of turns per unit length. So guys, with the help of this magnetic field mu naught Ni, we will make the magnetization in the material as equal to 0. So we will have to substitute mu naught Ni equal to mu naught H, where H is the value of coercivity so that the magnetization of the material becomes equal to 0. So the simple equation for this question is mu naught Ni is equal to mu naught H, and by solving this we'll obtain the value of H, which will be our final answer. Let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that coercivity is the value of H so that the magnetization of the material becomes equal to 0. Guys, in this question, we are applying this opposite magnetic field with the help of a solenoid, and therefore we'll have to use the formula of magnetic field inside solenoid. This formula is B is equal to mu naught Ni, where N is number of turns per unit length. Now guys, we'll substitute this value of B equal to mu naught H because we need to find the value of H, which is magnetic field intensity or coercivity. So by doing simple substitution, mu naught Ni will become equal to mu naught H. Mu naught will cancel on both sides and we'll obtain the value of H equal to Ni. Guys, here N is number of turns per unit length. So we need to take number of turns as 100 turns divided by length is 0.2 meters. Also guys, the current has been given as 5.2 amperes. By substituting this, we'll obtain the value of H as 2600 ampere per meter, which is our final answer. So with this, we have completed this question. Now let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 13th question of this chapter is, A paramagnetic substance in the form of a cube with side 1 centimeter has a magnetic dipole moment of 20 into 10 raised to minus 6 when a magnetic intensity of 60 into 10 raised to 3 is applied. Its magnetic susceptibility is. Guys, in this question, we need to understand the concept of magnetic susceptibility. Guys, magnetic susceptibility chi will be equal to magnetization of material divided by magnetic field intensity. Guys, the formula is magnetization is equal to chi into h, and therefore chi is equal to magnetization divided by h. So यहाँ पे magnetization calculate करने के लिए we'll have to use the formula magnetization is equal to magnetic dipole moment divided by volume. So guys, once we obtain magnetization, we need to divide magnetization by the value of h, which is magnetic field intensity, and this will give us the value of magnetic susceptibility. So in summary, we need to use two formulas. The first formula is magnetization is equal to chi into h, where chi is magnetic susceptibility, and the second formula is magnetization is equal to magnetic dipole moment divided by volume. So let's observe this in the solution in the next slide. Yes students, आप यहाँ observe कर सकते हो that first we'll find the value of magnetization which has been represented by alphabet I. Guys, magnetization I will be equal to magnetic dipole moment m divided by volume. Guys, because this is a cube, volume will be equal to side cube and its value comes out as 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube. So substituting the value of magnetic dipole moment m and volume v will obtain the value of magnetization as 20 ampere per meter. Guys, once we obtain the value of magnetization, we'll use the formula of magnetic susceptibility. Guys, magnetic susceptibility chi is equal to magnetization divided by magnetic field intensity, which is h. So substituting the value of magnetization as 20 ampere per meter, which we found above, and the value of h as 60 into 10 raised to 3, which is given in the question, will obtain the value of chi as 3.3 into 10 raised to minus 4, which is our final answer. So with this, we have completed this question. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 14th question of this chapter is, hysteresis loops of two magnetic materials A and B are given below. These materials are used to make magnets for electric generators, transformer core and electromagnet core. Then it's proper to use which material for the following. Guys, in this question, we need to use the simple concept that area of hysteresis loop is the amount of heat lost in every cycle. Guys, यहाँ पे transformer core and electromagnet core के लिए we'll have to use magnetic material B because it has smaller area of hysteresis loop. Guys, because magnetic material B has smaller area of hysteresis loop, less amount of heat will be lost in every cycle of magnetization and demagnetization. So guys, the correct answer for this question will be option D. Magnetic material B will be used for electromagnets and transformers. Guys, in summary, आपको बस ये concept ध्यान में रखना है that area of hysteresis loop is the amount of heat lost in one cycle. So with this, we have completed this question. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the 15th question of the chapter is, needles N1, N2 and N3 are made of a ferromagnetic, a paramagnetic and a diamagnetic substance respectively. A magnet when brought close to them will. Guys, in this question, we need to use the concept that a ferromagnetic substance has strong attraction in magnetic field, a paramagnetic substance has weak attraction in magnetic field, and a diamagnetic substance has weak repulsion in external magnetic field. Guys, इसका logic बहुत simple है. In a ferromagnetic substance, entire domain of magnetic dipoles align themselves in the direction of magnetic field and therefore there is strong attraction. Guys, in a paramagnetic substance, individual magnetic dipoles align themselves in the direction of magnetic field and therefore there is weak attraction. And guys, for a diamagnetic material, individual magnetic dipoles are aligned in opposite direction to external magnetic field, resulting in weak repulsion. So guys, the correct answer for this question will be option B. N1 will be attracted strongly, N2 will be attracted weakly, and guys, N3 will experience weak repulsion. So with this, we have completed this question. Let's move ahead to the next slide. Yes students, the last question for this video is, the material suitable for making electromagnets should have. Guys, in this question, we need to use the concept that electromagnets should be made of material in which magnetization can be made zero by applying small value of opposite current or opposite magnetic field. इसका मतलब students, electromagnets should have low coercivity. Guys, electromagnets should have magnetization in such a way that when we apply opposite current of small value or opposite magnetic field of small value, the magnetization should become zero. And at the same time, it should also hold some magnetization when the external current is not there. Therefore, guys, the correct combination will be high retentivity and low coercivity. And these are properties which are available in soft iron. Therefore, guys, electromagnet cores are usually made of soft iron. So guys, with this we have completed this question. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this video. Till then, stay happy and keep smiling. I will see you in the next video.